guys, welcome back to another episode of Road to Nats. No changes to the yellow Luffy deck list right now, so we're just going to jump right into the games. So game 1, it does look like we're going to face off against Purple Doflamingo, having the option to choose going second, keeping our first hand. Something I kind of, not necessarily regret in this playback, but I wonder if maybe I should have just played the the Usopp down as a body to swing into the sugar after they rest it for a search. I think it's really important to remove those little search bodies, especially with Doflamingo. Letting them generate too much hand advantage is gonna make it really hard to go for lethal later in the game. It's also really annoying because once they have the sugar in play and they just get to keep using it, they can drop like a Dillinger or a 4-cost sugar to play into something else, and then they can just keep redirecting away from the sugar until we have multiple bodies to clear it. So I think it might have been correct to play the Usopp here just to clear the sugar off. Of course, they're going to rest the sugar, search, very standard. They're going to find whatever broken card. They find OP10 Rosinante, 5 cost, 6k power. We take a 5k swing here. I like to risk it a little bit with the first swing. Sometimes I'll counter out, but sometimes I just want to see if it's a free trigger, you know? We do kill the Dillinger, and here we're going to play the Hogback out. But this is what I mean. Had we have had the Usopp in play, we could have gotten an additional swing in before playing the Hogback out. And then they play into the 4-cost sugar. They're just going to redirect one of the swings when we try to kill the 1-cost sugar. They're going to redirect it into the 4-cost. We're going to waste a swing. They're going to play probably a Virgo. We do counter out of that 5k swing there just to put a Thriller Bart character in the trash. Swinging into the Searcher. We really want to get it off the field. Letting this stick too long is absolutely annoying. They do not play the Virgo. They do play into the Monet, but Monet is a really solid card. I'm not sure, so I didn't have any better plays. It's not like I was going to play a Jinbei out for a hard 6, but I don't necessarily love playing the Kikanojo on 4 out of my 6 Dawn. I don't love leaving Dawn active. I don't like underutilizing. I feel it's inefficient, but also if they have a way to rest this or remove it, we get no value out of it. So like we just played a brick out of hand, but it generates us no value at the moment. They are already at 8+ Dawn, so they get the Doflamingo out. They're going to probably play into the Rosinante, opting to trash off an event to search or to draw 2 cards. This is another weird play. I choose to counter here just because I know they're gonna swing into it again, and I'm kind of allowing it to be a pseudo blocker. If I had a better card to discard for counter, I would have. The Usopp is just the only thing that plays in the range of Hogback. So we counter out for 2k, we let this go through, and then a body is a body, we play out the Usopp. And here we're just gonna, again, pass with 2 Dawn up. Oh, sorry, it's gonna pass back to us. We swing 5, then I want to say we're just gonna swing another 6 and try to develop Gecko Moria. Fortunately, that's not the case. This is more so what I meant about playing out the Kikanojo we're gonna get no value off of having played it. I guess the only value that we're gonna get is the long, like, play around of getting a hogback out, them KOing the hogback, and us playing the Kikanojo out again. But overall, I think playing it from hand at that point was a very, very low value move. It does surprise me the number of people that just swing right into the hogback and maybe don't necessarily understand how it works. Gonna swing 10 with the Gecko Mori here. Really just playing around them having another slow beam sword so they can't rest the Moria while we swing with a smaller body. Our goal this turn is really to try pushing them down to 3, that way when they swing back into the Kikanojo, we feel comfortable in letting it go. We will search with the Lilith here. We opt to grab the Gecko Moria. We have Thriller Bark characters in trash, so we're pretty cool on a heal here. I had just mentioned possibly trying to push them down to 3, and we could have done that with the Jewelry Bonnie. I think had the Lilith Searcher not yielded a heal, like a large heal body, we would have played the Bonnie, and that would have put Kikanojo online. But I've been testing this theory out that maybe it's not as good to play a burn card at the end of the turn. Like, Bonnie applies burn, but then it also swings, so it's like double pressure. It's a little bit of like, it's the exception. But generally, say you're playing your 8 on turn, you have 8 cost Kid who will burn your opponent's life, and you have Gecko Moria. Is it not gonna set up more value to play the Gecko Moria and then do the Kid the next turn at the beginning of the turn, and then follow the Kid life burn with the Gecko Moria 10k swing? So it's a little theory that I've been like testing. Maybe it's better, maybe it helps in games, I don't know. Mostly just waiting for opponent to start playing out here. We're probably gonna take this and then play out a hogback. We're sitting a little low on counter right now. Also, that's what I meant, chat. That Usopp gained no value this whole game. It was just a body that we literally never used. At this point, I am a little concerned that they've had the chance to drop multiple Virgos. That's really troublesome for larger bodies. And that Kikanojo pretty much also provided no value. We will 2k counter out of this though, knowing if they swing in for 8 with like the Rosinante, we can just block it. We do get lucky, we see another Robin here. I was a little hesitant there, as we could have kept it in hand for counter, but we're just going to clear it off the board so we can play a Bonnie on the following turn. Here we're trying to play around the slow beam sword again, so we're going to swing our biggest characters out first, that way they don't get rested. So ideally it's going to go Gecko Moria, Hogback, but if they have the slow beam right now would kind of be the time to use it, resting the other Gecko Moria. They could even do leader effect redirect into a Doflamingo 8 cost and then slow beam. But having not used it on the first attack, I feel pretty comfortable. We're gonna go Gecko Moria. We'll swing the hog back. I don't think anything's getting rested this turn. See, even redirecting into the Rosinante, I don't think was the best option. I think they could have redirected into an 8 cost Doflamingo and countered out to save it. Yeah, they had the counter. So we're going to drop a 9 cost Bonnie. It's pretty much just the best thing that we can do. We go into the Virgo here, just trying to get it off of board. Them being able to minus 2 bodies by 2k each is not great for our top end. And again, we're not sitting super pretty right now with counter. We're sitting on 4 bricks. I don't feel like I'm probably going to die, especially if this Virgo is cleared, but I can't really protect any of my characters. They do opt to give us the Divine Departure here, and then a 1k counter, putting themselves down to 1 in hand, but now we're sweating a little bit. 3 life and a blocker. They have 5 attacks, and we have no counter right now. But I think the opponent here made a really big mistake that we're able to kind of capitalize on over the next couple of turns to really push the game back in our direction. But I think had they just tried going for game, they would have had a better chance. We do have to let the Gecko Moria die. I think they take this as a sign that, hey, we can go for board regardless, so they're going to swing into the Bonnie, reduce it as well. We have no counter, literally nothing we can do about it. We do block here, hoping that maybe they just start swinging into life. It's unlikely. They're for sure trying to clear our bigger bodies right now. 12 into the Moria, we have to let them have it. And then they do swing into life, and we get a little bit of a saving grace. We're able to trigger and play out the hogback, just giving us an additional body. So we'll just test the waters with a 5. We don't have to do that much to hopefully drop a Bonnie and try to go for lethal this turn. But it's looking rough, chat. We're in a bad spot right now. They did take it, so like maybe we're looking good, but it's still kind of tricky. No slow beam though. That's all that matters. Choosing to leader effect, redirecting into the Dillinger. I'm hoping that they don't find a 2k here. We double check, it's just a 1k sugar, so I am comfortable in dropping the Jewelry Bonnie, putting them at 4 cards in hand. They've already used leader effect, so we are going to clutch it out here. Looking at it now, I didn't realize after the game had finished, I didn't realize they had slow beam sword. They could have used that to rest the other hogback. They could have gotten out of the first hogback swing, rested the second hogback, and then we would have lost. We would have swung 6 here. They would have had a 1k counter, and then we would have lost playing the Bonnie. They had this game. We should not have won it. But that's game 1. We're going to move into a Roger game for game 2. Let's get into it. Jumping into game 2, we do have the option to take second. Really lucky stealing the die roll twice in a row. Opting to mulligan. Pretty cool. We do see a Lilith on 1. Deciding to search out probably a Thriller Bark here. Going with the Perona. My idea here with grabbing the Perona is expecting them to play out, Douglas Bullet on the following turn. So if we have the Perona in hand, we're more likely to be able to avoid a 6k swing. Being on the second curve, we are lucky in kind of making them have to ramp 3 times to really pop off early. Whereas we have a good curve, we are on our going second curve, we have 4s, we have 6s, we're sitting pretty good here. They do drop the buggy to ramp and they're just going to swing a 6. We give them a 2k counter. We want to stay healthy, but we're not sweating it too much. Maybe opting to play the Robin here, playing a little defensive. I'll tell you the truth, I don't usually play the Robin. Normally I would have played the Kikanojo out. Getting kind of crazy lucky. Double Nico Robin. Probably, I think we're opting to swing 5 here, and we're going to play out the 6 cost Nico Robin just to burn another life off of them. We will pass. This sets us up to just drop the 8 cost kid on the following turn. But we get lucky. We get the Usohachi trigger, block out of the swing. This is just a beta card out of hand. I don't think they're going to counter. I'm pretty sure they just let it go. It's the better move. We're in territory where we really need to start dropping bigger bodies. And it's really a race to see who can outpace who with larger bodies. We do drop the kid. We're able to burn a Shanks out of life, which is awesome. We trash off a Kikanojo, keeping counter cards in hand, even though the unblockable event is an uncounter, or is a brick at the moment. It is a really good card. We do choose to take here. We get really lucky. It's a Jewelry Bonnie 9 cost, so we do have the option to play that on the next turn. Countering or blocking out of the Shank swing. We played the Bonnie here. I don't necessarily feel like we're dead on the crackback, especially if we leave one Dawn up here, but I am trying to push for lethal if we can. So we're not able to take it that turn. We draw into a brick, we just trash it off, but we do have the one Dawn active for the unblockable event. Honestly though, the second they swing into our Eustace kid, instead of trying to present some sort of method of going for lethal, I knew we had the game closed out. So we will counter out of this. The idea here is that they're going to waste all of their resources killing both of our characters, but it doesn't even come to that. They just concede. So we are going to move into game 3. We got a cool little carrot game. Let's get to it. Alright guys, rolling into the last game of the video. As I said, we have a carrot game here. A very interesting one. Unfortunately, we are not gonna get the chance to choose to go second, but we do open a pretty solid start. We're just gonna grab a hogback here. I look back on it and I kind of question my motive. I'm running less Gecko Moria 8 cost than I am overall 4 cost Thriller Bark characters, so I could have maybe just grabbed the Moria instead to set up for a future turn, but I like to have a good 4 cost that isn't Kikanojo playing into carrot, since they can lead or effect rest the Kikanojo and then just immediately play out the 5 cost carrot. So we do grab the hogback here. They play out the Wanda, they search out, just as I was expecting, the 5 cost carrot. Here we're gonna choose to swing in with the Lilith. My thought process behind this, instead of playing out the Lilith Searcher and swinging 7 with Leader, they're probably gonna take 1 out of 2 hits either way, but they already have a Minx character on field, so it doesn't really gain us much value to leave it active when they can just rest it and then swing in with their Leader or the Wanda. So we do swing 5. Luckily they take it. We're going to swing another 5, trying to get a card out of hand. We eat through a 2k counter. That's pretty awesome. They will use the Bonnie to search out the blocker Law. Really, really good card. They find the Zoe stage. They swing in with Wanda. They opt not to swing 6 here. So this is kind of a follow-up turn. We do decide to kill off the Jewelry Bonnie real quick. We're gonna play a 4 cost, and then we're gonna have the 1 Dawn active so we can actually play the Lilith that we saved from the last turn. So it's not really wasted. We do play the Kikanojo here. Thinking on it, it might have been the wrong play. We could have probably just played out a Hogback, and then if they KO'd it, we could have played the Lilith out and generated advantage off of searching. They're gonna carrot freeze the Kikanojo. I'm a little confused here. There was no reason for them to KO the Kikanojo, even being at 4 life, when they could keep it stunned the whole time. We're like moving into our 7 Dawn turn, which is the only turn that we're optimally playing a 6 cost, and it's still off curve. So we go into our turn. We are going to play the Nico Robin, and then we're just going to swing 6. We're trying to apply some pressure. They can't rest the Nico Robin, so we're feeling pretty stoked about that. Finally having a good chance here to discard the Hogback. I don't think we actually had a Thriller Bark character in Trash up until this point. And this is funny, they're just going to rest the Lilith and freeze it because, you know, free. We do get the trigger of the Perona, letting us play the Hogback out. That's great. It's just another swing. But chat, let me tell you, I am so surprised right here to see them play this 5 cost Yamato. I love this card, but it's a little bit slow in the last like 10 formats, so respect to them. Kind of trying to decide what we want to do here. We're gonna bait out hopefully a 1k. They do give us a 3k counter event, which is awesome. I'm assuming they don't have a ton of counter in hand since they just gave us double events. This last turn though, instead of playing out a Kid or a Bonnie, I heal. I guess I'm kind of preparing for the Yamato double attack banish. But I think if I was gonna do the Kuma, I could have swung better numbers. I don't know, just a thought. We are sitting pretty high on life. That feels good. I think we maybe could have played a little bit more optimally on that last turn. I kind of think this was a little bit of a mistake from our opponent as well. I think it would have been a lot stronger for them to just swing a larger number with the Yamato. They obviously don't know our hand, but double attack banish is so strong into yellow. Them just getting the Law Beppo out and boosting to 7, it's not the best thing. Because now they're just swinging a 6 with the Yamato. We give them an easy 2k counter, and now we're fine with taking a couple hits. Opponent deciding if they want to swing or just pass here. I wouldn't have even blamed them if they wanted to pass. We get super lucky. We see the Usopp trigger boosting our leader by 2k. This puts us on an even playing field with our opponent for the next turn. Here, we're probably thinking, I would have maybe even considered swinging an 8 here, but I guess being able to throw 11 or 10 into the Yamato is pretty good. And then we kind of just didn't do anything with the Dawn. Usually I like to attach it, but we're maybe hoping to see an event out of life, possibly. It is their 10 Dawn turn here, and they're swinging 7. That's an easy 2k, 1k. The Yamato was honestly the card that I was most concerned with. I'm taking a couple hits here. We're just trying to regain a little bit of hand size. We do luckily see the event as well. And this, I feel like I could have planned this a little bit better, not relying on hopefully seeing the 1-cost event. When they swung 7 with the Yamato, I should have assumed they were going to drop the 8-cost carrot, but they swung 6 here, and I could have given them the Robin 2k. Then they would have swung this, restood, swung. So I'm not entirely sure, but I think we maybe could have played it a little bit safer, because we only survive here because we saw the 1-cost event. Overall, guys, I'm still really happy with the way the deck is working out. There are a few cards that I do kind of want to try out, and maybe in the next couple of videos we will get to it. Honorable mention is the 3-cost Bonnie from EP07, EP08. Editor will throw that up on the screen for me like a G. That card's really good. I kind of feel like Luffy lacks a little bit of, not necessarily consistency, but filter. So I think that might help a little bit. That's the video though, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. Maybe come and check out the Twitch stream sometimes. But have a good one, and I will catch you guys on the next video.